It is possible. You probably don't even know what Airbnb is. Airbnb, well, you can go online, and instead of booking a hotel room, you can stay wherever. Let's say going to Dallas, go to Airbnb, and there's people out there who work with Airbnb, kind of like Lyft and Uber, but it's for your house, and you rent your house like a hotel, okay? And I say that because I suspect that for my more mature audience in talk radio, I know you guys are still savvy, but maybe you haven't done the Airbnb thing. I haven't. I don't know if I would. I just, as old as the property might be at a hotel, there just seems to be, it's just different. I just feel more secure in a hotel. I don't want to be staying in some person's house. That's just me. I wonder if you save money as compared to a hotel. Freddie, do you know if it's cheaper through Airbnb to stay at the house? It is cheaper, stay at a house instead of a hotel? Well, that's true. There have been a number of horror stories in recent years involving Airbnb, renters that discover surveillance systems, hidden cameras throughout a home that they are renting. Legal expert Quentin Brogdon is my guest right now on the wall. 1 in 10 doesn't sound like much, but when you consider how big Airbnb is, it's huge, it's enormous. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people that are complaining they found some hidden cameras. So what if, Quentin, you do something like that, you do the Airbnb thing, and you find a hidden camera in a smoke detector or a clock bedside? What legal right do you have to complain, get a refund, or I don't know, make a case of it? What would you say, Mr. Q?
Good morning, Sergio. Thanks for having me on.
You bet.
Well, the upside of this new sharing economy, jump in an Uber, jump in a Lyft, get an Airbnb room, is convenience. You can do it online. It's inexpensive, and there's been a stampede towards all of this. But we're now seeing some of the fallout on the downside. When you get in an Uber or Lyft, you're getting in a car with a stranger who may not and probably has not been checked out to the same degree that your cab driver was. When you rent an Airbnb, you're not running the criminal record on the person, more probably than not, and you don't know who is that renter, who has access. Does a former boyfriend or girlfriend have a key to the place and they show up and burn it down or cause harm? And you don't know whether there are cameras in there.
That hasn't happened. Please tell me, Mr. Q, that hasn't happened yet. I don't recall seeing a news report on that. But yes, I see where it might happen in a very rare situation.
You don't know who has access. You lock your doors in your own apartment or home, and when you go to a hotel room, you latch it from the inside, and you presume it's safe, and it's through a recognized chain, whether it's Hilton or Marriott or whoever.
Yeah.
But when you're renting a home from a person, you don't know who the person is, and you don't know whether they have hidden cameras. And people not only are worrying about, there was a new survey, 58% of Airbnb renters worry about hidden cameras, but 11% of those renters have actually found them in the Airbnbs that they've rented. And when they've gone to Airbnb, many of them at least have had a less than satisfactory experience. They're treated more as a frustrated guest than a victim of a crime when they've been videotaped in a bathroom or in some area where they didn't give consent.
Wow.
So we grew up hearing, don't hitchhike. We grew up hearing, be careful around strangers, but somehow we've thrown all that out the door. And if you're having to show up on my doorstep, the doorstep of a lawyer, the law isn't going to fix and get those naked pictures of you back that may be now on the internet. And so that's the problem is, the law in Texas, there is a tort. A tort is a claim for personal injuries, for invasion of privacy. And you can sue to try to get damages, but to get that against an individual is problematic. Most people don't have the kind of income collecting a judgment. And Airbnb's position is basically, we're just brokering this relationship. That's the same position Uber and Lyft take. We're just getting two people together, and what happens between the two of you? Well, that's really between the two of you. So there isn't a great legal recourse here, and so you just need to be very, very careful.
The broker. But the damage has been done by some, again, about 10%. They say that there was a camera in there. We have no idea. Okay, that's on the civil side, but is any DA, is anybody prosecuting cases where the privacy has been offended and these pictures are out there? Is anybody prosecuting this?
Well, there is precedent for prosecuting people, for instance, it's usually males, but not always, who've hidden cameras in bathrooms where women are primarily. There's a good precedent for that. That clearly is a criminal act. See, Airbnb's position is that if it's not, as long as it's not in a bathroom or a bedroom, if it's in a common area, and even if the camera is some little white speck in a picture that you saw, somehow you've been told about it, you know about it, and you've consented to it. Most people who are renting these places would not agree with that position. And the people who've discovered these cameras, one guy found one hidden in a smoke alarm case in a private living room. And the host admitted that she had concealed it, but only after being presented with the proof of it.
Okay.
Airbnb's response to this has been less than satisfactory.
Well, I can see on the flip side, if you are renting your house to strangers, yes, you as a renter, rentee, both parties are strangers to each other, and you got strangers coming into your house. I'd like to know who broke the vase, or who was sneaking into my desk and eating my candy bar stash in there. You know what I mean? So you can figure out who was going into places they shouldn't. Doesn't that renter also have a right to monitor, protect her property?
Well, only if there's consent.
Okay, so she needs to say, look, I got cameras in the living room, the kitchen. Don't you dare go into a place that you shouldn't go. There's none in the restroom. There's none in where you're going to sleep. But otherwise, we got the security set up in there. You need to tell people that if you're renting from me, there will be a security system and cameras are on inside the house, and then you're covered. You're good.
That's right.
Okay.
And 1 in 4 Airbnb renters in the survey, it wouldn't be me, by the way. I would not be one of those 1 in 4, but 1 in 4 said that's fine. They don't mind cameras in common areas as long as they know about it.
Well, as long as they're fine, see me walk around in my chonies in the kitchen. Fine with me. Maybe I can get a discount. Oh, please don't do that. Yeah. Yeah, you want me to put more clothes on? Yeah, maybe half rate. Cut it in half. Thank you, Quentin. I'll call you back, brother. Quentin Brogdon, attorney, North Texas, joining us on the wall. Time is 10:32.